Hey, team, how we doing? Great. Yeah, happy hump day. Yeah, just got to get through. Yep, exactly. So, we won or Oprah? Sure. Well, we can go ahead and dive right in, right? Want to be conscious of time? Can everyone see my screen? Great. So, team, why are we here?
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo. And over yonder, the man making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is, here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live. Take a second, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Podcast listeners, do us a favor, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We had another wedgie. Wedgie number 29 on the season. It was bogey here in Atlanta, down at the Fortress. 3-point shot, sticks it. We had Bob and Neek talking about it even.
Yeah, Bob asked Neek, how does this happen? He said, well, when you shoot to the left there,
that's right,
Bob. That's what happens.
So, wedgie number 29, wedgie tracker has been updated, and look at that pace. 53, if things keep up at this clip. So, good stuff. A little later in the show, we'll talk about the Rising Stars rosters. They've been announced. Steph versus Sabrina. That's officially a go. And a bunch of other news, but some games last night, and we start with the unfortunate news. Let's just jump right into it. Joel Embiid suffers a knee injury in the final minutes of the 76ers loss to the Warriors. With about 4 minutes to go, guys, Embiid stripped by Kuminga, while backing down Draymond Green. Embiid dives for the loose ball, sort of gets caught between his legs. Kuminga jumps on top of it, dives for it. He lands right on Embiid's left leg. He immediately clutches at it. He's down in some agony, and then he exits the game. Doesn't return, of course. And we didn't even know if he was going to play coming into this game. Had missed a couple prior. Gives it a go. I don't know what you thought, how he looked in the game. Sure didn't look like the explosive MVP Embiid we've seen earlier in this year and last year. But yeah, here we go. Amidst all the talk about this 65-game threshold rule that Halliburton was already, complaining about and pointing out, what are we doing this for? And now we have Embiid here. So I guess good news, it wasn't Draymond Green falling on Embiid's leg, or we would be taking two of the biggest storylines and mashing them together. But yeah, Embiid out in this one.
Yeah, it was the same knee that kept him out the last two games. That left knee was such an odd play where he was down on the ground, didn't suffer the injury to that point, but then Jonathan Kuminga jumps on his leg, and obviously it's that same knee, but Nick Nurse says it's not the same injury. It's very different. Let's go to Trey Kirby, because this is your background. As you talk,
yeah,
a little bit.
Well, I think it's going to be a knee injury for Embiid. And if I'm making a guess, I'll go with a sprained MCL. Just saying, just a pure guess, but that looked like where it happened, just a freak thing. And we see it happen a lot, guys diving on the floor. Usually it's one guy standing up and a knee gets rolled into. Like this happened to Kevin Durant a couple of times, right. But this was kind of a weird one. Both of them on the floor, and the way Kuminga landed on Embiid just bent his knee the wrong way. Couldn't have helped that he's been dealing with a little bit of knee soreness. He came in, like you're saying, Skeets, questionable. He did not look great in this game.
No.
But I'll say Embiid in general, when he returns from an injury, usually looks pretty out of rhythm. But he definitely looked out of rhythm tonight. But yeah, it just sucks. Sam Amick at the Athletic today compared him to Yao Ming. And I think that's pretty accurate. It's like when he's out there, Embiid is absolutely dominant. But the reliability is always a concern. This one is not his fault, though. That's just bad luck, and bad luck injuries have happened to Joel Embiid quite a few times in his career.
Of course, Sixers fans, NBA fans, a lot of people saying he shouldn't have been playing, period. He said he wanted to give it a go, but if you watch the game, yeah, definitely had very little lift, sort of protecting the baskets, and then on offense, he was settling. I mean, looked like a guy who was like, I'll just take the jumper, I'll take the three, and no attacking one-on-ones, no real driving. Just didn't have that sort of drive there. And maybe it was just conditioning. He had missed some games, and you said it, TK. We've seen this before, but that's what's going on here. A lot of people saying he was pressured into playing. Either himself for wanting maybe another MVP to hit the 65-game mark, or this whole thing of the narrative that he dodged the Denver game and he's got to get back. Do you have a take on this? Because this is what's happening here. You're going to see it on every show here today. Whether the 65-game threshold, that eligibility rule, is it going to be a one-and-done thing and we're going to get rid of it because of situations like this?
It's possible that we could get rid of it, but I don't think Joel Embiid was pressured to play in any way. And he was only pressured to play in 20 minutes, but he played until the end of the game. If you want to get to that threshold, you just have to play in 20 minutes, and you can get off. Right. So I don't think they're doing any sort of math there. He was playing until the last minute. And yes, he looked rusty. It happens with Joel Embiid. Look at him every single postseason. I am not a doctor. We are not doctors here, even though Trey's got a little bit of background, as he talked about on our G League game, our G League broadcast. But he looked off because he hasn't been on the floor in 5 days. Every single postseason, he looks a little off. He'll miss a game or two. He's missed games in 5 of his 6 postseasons, and he just doesn't look great at the end of the year. Maybe it's Yao Ming-like, but he is rusty, and maybe thankfully Kuminga kind of landed on his tibia a little bit lower than the knee, and so it wasn't like a blowout. It wasn't a hyperextended knee, that's for sure.
MRI coming today for sure.
Yeah. Nurse will be there and have to answer it. He didn't look very happy. Nick Nurse did not seem very happy talking about it afterwards. He looked frustrated because he has to answer every single time. Hey, what about that MVP thing? Hey, what about that MVP thing? Is he going to play games? But Embiid misses games every single season.
Yeah.
Every single season. So they are obviously trying to make him feel the best as possible.
ESPN's Ramona Shelburne reported that the knee injury is something Embiid and Philadelphia will have to manage for the remainder of the season. Before this, so this idea that he's had a knee injury for possibly weeks, Trey. And it's not just over the last couple days and that's kept him out. It maybe just got worse or whatever. But that this is an issue, maybe because of his size, being a giant-ass dude, that is just something he's going to have to manage. But yeah, we just sort of wait and see here across our fingers that it's nothing severe. He's going to miss more time. You can probably take him out of the running now for All-NBA, for MVP. He only has to miss, 5 more games before he's not eligible for any of that. And yeah, this again happens on the day where Tyrese Halliburton is saying, this is a stupid rule, this 65-game thing. Now, he's got a whole lot more money on the line. He's got less games to even miss here now. We saw him hit his sort of 20-minute mark last night in the loss to the Celtics, but he thinks it's bad. So it's tough, right? I saw Ziller write about it. I thought he nailed it. He said, by putting teeth behind the participation policies, the league is not just creating an environment where healthy players suit up. They've created an environment where banged-up stars are encouraged to play hurt. And that's, again, the double-edged sword maybe with this rule. And we'll see if they keep it, I guess, is moving forward.
We'll see if they keep it, because at the end of the year, it will look weird if Tyrese Halliburton and Joel Embiid are not on all NBA teams. Understandable if they're not in MVP voting. It's hard to win an MVP if you don't play more than 65 games. Like Embiid played 66 last year, second fewest games ever that an MVP has played in a season. There kind of already is a cap there, but the All-NBA stuff, I do think is going to look strange if you look back at the season and Embiid and Halliburton are not amongst the top 15 players in the league. We will all know that's a lie.
Mm-hmm. Right. If they play, let's say, 55 to 60 games,
exactly.
I think we all agree if you don't play, if you only play 35 games,
it's different for sure.
Yeah, then you're okay, it's tough. I mean, you got to be available to win these awards. But yeah, you're right. If you're around the threshold and it's a major injury or two, then that sucks.
Yeah, but stars have been playing banged up for a long, long time. Kobe Bryant became famous for all of the injuries that he would play through. It's just a different era right now, and these are some of the consequences of the 65-game threshold, though, like I said, I don't really think that Embiid forcing his way back onto the court, if that's what it was, is the reason for this injury. This is literally just bad luck. A guy fell on his leg.
Yeah, I do think just watching him in this game, before the injury happened, I thought, well, he just doesn't look into it every single position. He was on defense where he jumped at one point, no contact, and he fell down to his butt. Looked like, again, something had flared up with his legs. He wasn't going hard to the bucket on the offensive end.
Yeah,
this is the Joel Embiid of old. It's just how his body works, unfortunately. And we're going to see him in the postseason when his numbers will probably go down a little bit like they have every single postseason. And his minutes will probably go down like they have every postseason. It just sucks. It just sucks to try and keep him as healthy as possible, although he's gotten better and better and better and better and better. It's just the nature of Embiid's knees, really.
So again, at some point today, we will learn the severity of this injury after the MRI results. They're on the West Coast, I guess, out there right now, so maybe a little bit later than normal if he was here on the East Coast. Any thoughts on the Warriors' win or anything else from this game? I mean, no Maxey in this as well for the Sixers. They're
banged up.
Short-handed. Yeah, everybody is hurt on that team. But the Warriors Good win. Curry looked great.
yeah.
Wiggins looked great again. Kuminga looked solid.
They're making this play-in tournament. They look like a different team now that they've gotten Draymond Green back into the starting lineup. They've let him go in there because he is their heart. He is their soul on the defensive end. They look like they're playing defense. Starting beside him are Kuminga and Wiggins. Kuminga is guarding the other team's best offensive player, and he's doing a decent job at it, that's for sure. Andrew Wiggins looks like a new player all of a sudden, coming off a 22-point game, scoring 23 in this game. I just love how he's taking back cuts on Draymond's passes. He's dribbling minimally, but he'll pull it up and drive to the hoop. He's doing a lot, and he's coming off a great defensive game, I thought, against D'Angelo Russell and the Lakers. He's feeling good, and Kuminga obviously it was cool to see Draymond Green, that defensive rebound. Kuminga starts sprinting, Curry gets the ball and just leads him with a beautiful pass. Kuminga's playing hard. They're all playing hard. And they have injuries too. When Chris Paul comes back, when Gary Payton II comes back, Clay obviously sat out this one. They're feeling pretty good, other than when Corey Joseph plays. Just roll with Lester Quinones already. It looks bad out there with Joseph, but they have enough guys. They look more like the team that had the urge the last few years.
Yeah, any takeaways from the game itself?
Hasn't been said yet. Steph Curry's awesome. 37 points, just dagger after dagger from this guy. But the key to me is Draymond being back. He definitely helps defensively, but the passing is next level with Draymond, and that's part of the reason why Kuminga's been having this run of great games here, and part of the reason Wiggins looks like a player again. 32 assists last night for the Warriors. Draymond, I think, only had 6 of them, but 4 of them were for layups or dunks. 2 of them were for Curry threes. Those are the most efficient shots in the game, and Draymond is hunting those out. He's just such a smart player that he makes their offense so much better, and then he can just yell at those wings to be in the right places defensively. Also, hardly any Kevon Looney in this game, which I think was big for the Warriors. They need to rest that guy up as much as possible because he's slow right now, and he needs to take a little bit of a break. So good stuff from the Warriors. I thought the Sixers looked the best when they were playing small last night. That's maybe a criticism that you could have for Nick Nurse. Embiid maybe didn't need to come back in the fourth quarter because they were kind of rolling without him.
Yep, that's a good point. Moving on, the New York Knicks, man, they're on fire. They won their 8th straight game last night. They finished January 14-2 by beating the Jazz 118-103. No Randall, of course, out with his injury. No OG in this one, who's been a monster when it comes to them on the defensive end, and his plus-minus through the roof since he's joined the Big Apple. And it doesn't matter because Dante DiVincenzo's hitting 9 threes, and you got all these Villanova Wildcats running wild. And, I want January to end. I'm officially over it. Happy to see February tomorrow, but I don't think the Knicks do because, again, what a month where they are playing just their best basketball of the season, no matter who's in the lineup.
Yeah, they've got the best defense of the league in January. It's been a very good month. Obviously, OG sitting out, Julius Randle sitting out. You think, maybe they won't be great. But obviously, DiVincenzo had a different idea with 9 threes, and Josh Hart joining the starting lineup, which sparks the discussion: will they trade for Bruce Brown when they have a Josh Hart who is like a
Bruce Brown at home?
Yeah, he's fine. Josh Hart's fine, but the number 3 seed is theirs. They just went and stole it from the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, they're just playing extremely hard, even without OG and Randall, who you think, that's their heart, as their forwards. They got depth. They have plenty of depth, and everybody from Precious Achiuwa to Isaiah Hartenstein playing really hard and really well.
Yeah, Jericho Sims, I thought, looked really good in this game. Taj Gibson is back with the Knicks like he never left.
We want Taj.
Yeah, that's right.
We want Taj. Tom's like, yeah, me too. He gave him his own ovation. That was amazing. Great stuff. You can tell the Knicks are really connected right now. 29 assists last night, 5 turnovers. DiVincenzo and Hart, they're both just really good cutters, and they're right now with the Knicks, if you're open, you're getting the ball. I thought they were really smart attacking in the second half because the Jazz finally started doubling Jalen Brunson, basically doing anything to get the ball out of his hands because he was cooking. But they were playing 4-on-3 after that, New York was. Isaiah Hartenstein was finding guys for layups. It looks like a fun environment to be playing with the Knicks. They've got quite an identity right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what their starting lineups are going to look like because without OG out as well, they went big with Achiuwa starting next to Hartenstein, but that's against a team in the Jazz that starts 2 bigs as well. So I don't know who will be the four basically for New York when it comes. Probably OG at the 4, I imagine, when he's healthy again. Yeah. But the Knicks were great last night. They were in transition. all night long. 24 fast break points, 62 points in the paint. The Jazz can't stop anybody inside despite having 2 huge dudes. And then 14 offensive rebounds for the Knicks. They forced 14 turnovers. They dominated this game.
Jalen Brunson, after missing 2 games like in the middle of January, he's played in 8 straight. He's averaging 31.6 points per game, shooting 53% from the floor, 41.5% from deep. He's great at the line, getting there a lot, 7 attempts plus a game, 84% there, 7 assists, 4 boards. He doesn't like rack up the defensive stats, but helping out there, doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot for a point guard. Just elite point guard play here for New York. He's going to be named an All-Star on Thursday night. A lot of people, including myself, thinks he probably should have been starting the game, but he'll be there, his first appearance, and they're just feeling so good. Yeah, it's almost like, the idea of trading for like a Bruce Brown or another sort of defensive-minded guy that would make sense with Tibbs. Sure, but it's like, oh man, this is don't rock the boat here. I mean, you got a nice thing going right now, even with the injuries to some of their key guys. Just everybody playing hard. Hart, triple-double, didn't he? Mm-hmm. The 10-10-10 triple-double. I think he's the 10th player ever to have the 10-10-10, the perfect trip dub.
No one else can ever do it.
No, I know. We got to leave it there. Call it there. Anything else on the Knicks here?
Nope. I think they've got everything right now. Other than, the Julius Randle injury obviously is disappointing. But it's nice, I guess, that it falls within the All-Star break. It's 3 weeks away. Then you get a nice little week off no matter what.
It's true. Well, let's talk about this other key game in the Eastern Conference. Then we'll show you the standings. But Tatum scored 30, came up with some late blocks, key blocks, as the Celtics held off the Pacers 129-124. Entertaining. I mean, Celtics were rolling. They were up huge. Here come the Pacers. And then we had some, one-possession games there in the fourth quarter. Trey, your takeaways?
I have a hard time taking away anything from Celtics Pacers, specifically because of the Pacers. I don't think their games are real. First half leads we know aren't real. They came back big time in the third quarter, but what do you look at in this game and think, oh yeah, that matters going forward? I don't know, because I saw Jared Weiss's write-up at The Athletic, and the Celtics were talking about having great resiliency in this one and playing really well in the fourth quarter and giving great defensive effort, and I'm like, you took 4 layups in the fourth quarter, but you still somehow pulled out a win. The Celtics should beat the Pacers. And that's what happened. I don't know. I had a hard time finding anything super interesting in this game.
I agree. I do think the only interesting thing is from other teams looking to trade for a guard in this week here. I can't believe it's only a week, but there are going to be just sort of those guards that just kind of help out your team. I think Kyle Lowry will go help out a good team. I think TJ McConnell could be had from the Indiana Pacers. He's been their backup point guard all season. He's been really, really good. Yeah. But Andrew Nembhard looks awesome right now. He looks like a very, very, very competent player here. This is just year 2 for that guy. But he was running the point guard at the end because they reduced Tyrese Halliburton. They had, a max on his minutes because he's come back from his injury. But I think with Nembhard playing the way he is, TJ McConnell is available. And Nembhard's ahead of him on the pecking order. I get that. He's TJ McConnell's 31. He's not on the Pacers timeline. And I think other people would say, why would you trade him? He's kind of a depth guy. But at 31, I think you'll get the best value for him, even though he doesn't have a big contract next season. This might be the best time to trade him. It's good money if you want TJ McConnell, and he's obviously helped out. There's teams out there, like the Lakers, for instance, that could just use any guard to help out. But There's lots of guards showing off right now. There's the Lowrys, and we'll get to the Carusos, like those type of guys. They're available.
One of my takeaways was, does Reggie Miller know that Derrick White is going to be named an All-Star on Thursday night? How many times did he bring that up? Even Harlan was getting in on it. I'm convinced they know that he's going to be there. They said it so many times, or maybe Reggie's got a prop bet on it. I'm not sure, but he had a good game here on national television. I also don't know when those ballots are even submitted. Are they doing it today? Are they already done? Is it a moot point? But
I think he had the earbuds in for the TNT halftime show, and they talked about Derrick White being an All-Star. So he thought, all right, this is good.
There's a lot of talk
I'm gonna
about
go because
it.
in the third quarter he turned it on, and the TNT halftime show, Adam Lefko read some tweets from people that say Derrick White's got to be in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And sure, he's amazing. And that block that he had in the quarter at the end of that game.
That whole
that was
defensive
awesome.
possession was sick from the Celtics with the switching and Drew shutting down guys and then Derrick White, getting into the corner there on the block. That was a great defensive possession there in a high-scoring game. But, a weird game.
Halliburton just didn't play the end as well, which would have changed things a little bit.
Just a little bit.
19 offensive rebounds for the Pacers. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And the Celtics afterwards were basically like, they play a crazy style. They're going to get offensive rebounds. And that's why it's hard for me to, value games against the Pacers, because you're like, no game is going to be like this when it actually matters.
Yeah, I think they're going to be an infuriating team when we get to the postseason. It'll depend on who they're playing, but to predict that series, whoever the Pacers are playing.
I'll take whoever the Pacers are playing.
Yeah, but will you take it in 4? Will you take it in a long series? That's because the way they play, you're right. Or could they even be ripe for an upset? We'll see. Well, let's show you the East standings. Tass, you'd been calling this for weeks. You said, I think the Knicks are going to catch the Sixers there. I think they're going to jump up there. You've been saying it for a while now, and they officially did it here after the results from last night. Sixers dropping actually to 5th, sort of with the tie there with the Cavs in the 4-5 spot. You see the Pacers there in 6th, but Boston 37-11, Bucks 4.5 back. So some starting to gain a little bit of distance between those two teams, and then the Knicks. 3rd seed at 31-17. Again, they got to pretend February doesn't exist. Just tomorrow will be January 32nd to Knicks fans. Just keep rolling. And then the other games last night, if you guys want to touch on any of them, Trae Young scored 26. The Hawks handed the Lakers another double-digit defeat, 138-122. And we got some LeBron emojis after this game late at night here in Atlanta. And Gary Trent Jr. scored 24 to lead the Raptors to the 118-107 victory over Trey Kirby's Chicago Bulls. You're shaking your head.
I felt like Doc Rivers last night. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Coming in with 2 Raptors fans. They've given up on their team.
Yep.
They both had an option to go see him play here in Atlanta on Sunday.
Pass.
No, thank you.
Nope.
I would rather stay home and watch the Lions, they said. But the Bulls went 7 minutes without making a shot in the fourth quarter. I don't know how to figure this out using all the statistical tools on the internet. So this is a call to John Schumann, because I want to see if the Bulls are the leader in 4-minute plus droughts in the fourth quarter. Because they have had so many of them where they just cannot get a field goal specifically. But the game I thought was actually lost in the third quarter. The Raptors went crazy, shot 61%. They had 11 assists on 14 field goals, scored 37 points. Every one of them was a layup or a three-pointer because the Bulls could not stop any dribble penetration. I also thought Chicago just looked small in general. Patrick Williams is out for a couple of weeks with a bone bruise in his foot that they're saying will be healed with active rest. I hadn't heard something like that.
Active rest, yes. I guess
Since
just don't do anything else.
Rookie of the Year, Daniel Stern. You know what I think it is? Hot ice. Active rest. I love it. But he's out. Torrey Craig is out. And Dalen Terry sprained his ankle as well. So anybody on the Bulls who is from 6'4 to 6'9 could not play last night. And they just looked tiny. But it was also the Tasmellis trap game. First game back after a road trip.
Yeah.
Often goes poorly. It's the first bad Bulls loss since basically November. A bad loss. But it happened to me.
Especially a double trap game because the Raptors are coming in without their starting center still in Pirtle, then no Barrett, then no Quickly. it's bare bones team that sort of, if you've seen the Raptors play recently, they don't look all that inspiring. I thought they were out of this game. I had tweets ready to go look, TK, you got us this year. Your Bulls are 100 times better than our Raptors. And I held off on it. I was like, we'll see what happens here in the second half. And suddenly the Raptors were back in the lead and sort of pulled away and got the easy victory. Thad Young revenge game. This guy was balling as the starting center for the Raps.
Yeah, it almost felt like March in the NBA where you watch the third string of your team here and you say, all right, let's go, baby, because Jordan Wara was rocking it.
This guy's playing really well.
We're like Michael Jordan Wara.
Come on, really well.
He was playing well. Jalen McDaniel's site, who was helping out a little bit. Things were odd. Grady Dick is doing his thing. He's playing minutes here, but
he didn't score.
Yeah, he didn't,
doing his thing.
Which was weird. He only took one shot. How is he supposed to score if he doesn't take one shot?
That's his thing.
The Bulls were guarding. The Bulls were guarding a little bit. I think it's a bad sign for the Raps that they win because top 6 they keep their pick. And so I was watching. I almost wanted to know when are they going to pull the plug because obviously Pirtle has been out for 11 games. quickly. That was his third straight missing game with a thigh injury. And RJ Barrett as well. Then they lost Jonte Porter, their backup center, in this game. Yeah, they're kind of dwindling. Do you want to pull the plug? They still are the 6th worst record in the NBA. So they're going to finish somewhere around there anyways, I guess. And then you look at the Bulls with the Nets doing what they're doing. They're playing really well. They're coming for that play-in tournament position. They're coming for it right now. So Alex Caruso was obviously playing hard. He didn't shoot all that well, but I wonder if the Alex Caruso plug has been pulled. Maybe you gotta trade him if you're Arturas. If you want something for Caruso, now is the time, I imagine, to do it.
The weirdest stat I saw regarding the Raptors last night, they recorded at least 25 assists in 30 consecutive games, tying the longest such streak in NBA history. This Raptors team, with a very bad record, at least racks up those assists in the game. They tied the 84-85 Lakers for the longest streak, 30 games straight here with 25-plus assists. So one more game, and it belongs to us.
Legendary.
That's unreal, that one, with their record especially. But
got a Schumann stat here.
Yeah.
Bulls actually have the league's 6th ranked fourth quarter offense.
Okay.
That's not the question, though.
No, but
I want to know about the droughts, because they could have the first-ranked offense if they didn't go half a quarter without scoring.
Yeah, that was wild. So 118-107 Raptors. And then any thoughts here on the Lakers? I know they're sort of going to come back up in tweet of the night, but anything from that game? The DeJounte Murray, D'Angelo Russell hugging after the game.
It out
we might be traded. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to the Nets.
They should have done a jersey swap. That would have been so funny.
And like put them on, put them on,
good.
share all the Photoshop boys from having to do that Photoshop when they're inevitably traded. That's a great idea.
26 fast break points for the Hawks, 68 points in the paint. They also dominated on the glass, 12 offensive rebounds for 21 second chance points, and LA went 2 for 13 in the first half from 3. This was a dominant victory for the Hawks and an absolute dud for the Lakers, who either want a trade or a firing to happen. That's what it is right now with the Lakers. They need a change, but we still got a week until the trade deadline, so what's happening in this next week?
Yeah. You're saying the ham might be cooked.
It might be cooked. I think the Lakers players in particular have been getting out the ingredients and sharpening their knives for quite some time, Skeets. They're just waiting to put it in the oven, and they can't believe that Rob Pelinka hasn't came home yet to get dinner started.
Yeah. We'll see here. I mean, DeJounte had a great game. If he's going to be traded to the Lakers,
good audition.
Good audition. Exactly.
D'Lo, not so much.
No, he doesn't want to be traded.
No. You don't want me here.
But that might mean he might go to Brooklyn if we have a 3-team deal here. If Dinwiddie and a pick is coming back to Atlanta, that's the slop making its way around right now.
Yeah, if they're going to strengthen their sort of middle to the end of the rotation, maybe they're playing poorly on purpose just to get that done, because they've given up 138 and 135 in their last 2 games. And maybe it just feels like that time. I don't think they're really going to tear it up by any means. But maybe they can give up a pick. Maybe they're just trying to show Rob Pelinka, hey, we're in the play-in tournament right now. We got to the conference finals last year. Can you short up a little bit? We don't want to finish in 11th.
Well, when the LeBron emojis start flying, you gotta start to take note here that something's probably going to be happening. Whether it's ham, whether it's a move for a player like DeJounte or something, we'll see. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into a bunch of NBA news and notes, including stuff around the All-Star weekend. Don't go anywhere.
My New Year's resolutions have already failed. I got to switch it up, but not give up. I love craving my oral fixation with sunflower seeds, but I need a change. Here's a breath of fresh air. Fume. Fume takes your habit and simply makes it better, healthier, and more enjoyable. Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do. It's a good unwinder. Its taste is surprising, all natural stuff. It is fun to widget with. It's a good weight. I like the feel. The wood feels good, feels cool to use. Plus, Fume's just released a magnetic stand for your Fume, so there's no more losing it around the house. Just magnetizes. Just like that. Doesn't go anywhere. I like that. It's not like a little Apple TV remote. You can't lose it. It's got this nice
Those things are gone all the time.
Start the year off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/dunks and getting the Journey Pack today. Fume is giving listeners of the show 10% off when they use our code DUNKS to help make starting the good habit that much easier.
Okay, the NBA announced the 28 players who have earned spots to compete in the 2024 Rising Stars, which is going to take place on Friday night of All-Star Weekend. Don't worry, it's after our live show. It's a 9 p.m. Eastern start. They get started late on that Friday night. The annual Showcase of Young Talent will once again feature a mini tournament with 4 teams and 3 games. And JD, you can start going through the rosters here because the player pool consists of 11 NBA rookies, obviously led by Wemby and Chet. And we got 10 second-year players. Those are your sophomores, Paolo, Mathurin, and so on. And then 7 NBA G League players. Those are actually selected by the league office, the G League office. And they will just make up a team. You see, dunk contest champion Mac McClung on this squad. He's going to be, in theory, dunking again, so he'll be there.
Hope Oscar Shibwe gets the game ball.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's where you've seen that name before.
That's where you've seen it.
So, for those that don't remember, the 21 NBA players, the rookies, the sophomores, they're drafted onto 3 7-player teams. And then again, there's the 7-player G League team. We've got coaches Pau Gasol coming back as one of the coaches. We got 10-time WNBA All-Star Tamika Catchings and former Pacers Jalen Rose and Detlef Schrempf.
Nice.
Yeah, Schrempf has got the G League team. So, yeah, we have this whole final target score thing where, the game has to end on a made basket or a made free throw instead of the clock running out. So the semifinal games will be played to a final target score of 40, and the championship game will be played to a final target score of 25.
It's going to be a late night. If they start at 9, you're going to have 3 games.
Yeah.
That's busy. The Pau Gasol and Tamika Catchings, a couple of Hall of Famers, are probably going to be up till like 12:30. That's 3 games. That's a lot of games.
Nah, they move pretty quickly from what I can remember.
Yeah, they actually they play till they're 40. You got to score 40 points to win those semifinal games.
Yeah.
So they're quick. I guess.
Not a ton of defense being
then
played.
It's just
in the
20.
Rising Stars.
It's 25 in the finals.
That's
which
right.
is weird.
Yeah, because there's someone like you saying it's going to go on too long.
But it will. I mean, Pau Gasol, Tamika, Jalen, Detlef, have fun out there. But there's lots of good players in this game.
Were there any, dare I ask it, any snubs from the the rookies and sophomore list that you were like, what the hell? Where's so-and-so?
We couldn't spare a single Thompson twin?
That was a little weird. Yeah.
I just think it's a little odd, just to spread the wealth. Like, I probably would have picked Asar Thompson over Cason Wallace as a rookie.
Okay.
Cason Wallace has been great, no doubt about it. Not anything about him, but there's 3 Thunder in this game.
Yeah.
And it would be 3 Pistons, but that's all they got, man.
It's almost like, I don't know, it'd be sort of fun if the Thompson twins are going head-to-head in one of these little mini games, too. It looks like that fun little storyline, but neither of them getting selected.
Could be
here
the NBA promoting the G League a little bit more rather than the overtime elite option, because you've got
True.
you got the G League guys
that's a
playing
great
in this one, but there's the G League up next game on Sunday where there's a ton of players, 4 teams of 7 players there, and like 8 members of the G League Ignite playing in that one, which is a little odd. That's like the whole G League Ignite team playing out there. Anyway, so I think they're pushing that. They're pushing the G League. Hey, come do this thing instead of college, but overtime elite, it's good. But
I am, I've said it a million times. I think I'm saying it for all of us, too. We're All-Star Weekend sickos. We enjoy it. We love going to it, watching most of it. But I will admit, the Friday night portion here of All-Star Weekend, as time has gone on, I've become less and less interested in the Rising Stars tournament, I guess we're calling it now. And maybe it's because we have things going on Friday night, like our live show. But I don't know. It's the one thing I don't care if I miss. Well, hold on. The celebrity game, I absolutely don't care if I miss because we're never in it. But this has sort of now been lumped in there with it.
Well, the
I'll
Bulls and
watch the
Raptors
highlights.
haven't had a good rookie in a long time either.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You'll be
Yeah,
changing
Scottie.
your tune if they get the 3rd pick in the draft next year. I can't wait for this Rising Stars game. The thing I'm most excited about, Skeets, you kind of mentioned it yesterday. We got to start brainstorming nicknames and calls for when we do a G League Ignite game. This is going to give us a good chance. That's music to my ears. Ron Holland's Opus.
Oh, nice one.
Ooh, big jam. All eyes on Itan Almanza.
It's a good name.
Yeah,
And
great.
then my favorite, Friday night, how about some Matas Buzelas with the fellas?
Jeez, okay. Well, this guy's getting ready for our March 3rd game here when we're calling the Skyhawks versus the G League at night.
Yeah, I was looking up the Buzelas as an instrument. You played it perfectly. But I am a little excited. This is for the sickos at 9 o'clock.
And you're right. And Wemby's in this.
Yes,
I mean,
Wemby's
that alone
look
should
at
be
it.
must watch.
Wemby, Chet, Brandon Miller, Keontae George has been awesome for the Jazz. Jaime Jaquez, just a very weird photo there. It looks like he's got a sunglasses tan in that photo they threw out there. But J-Dub, hopefully he's back. Keegan Murray, Jalen Duren. The Paolo Banchero inclusion is interesting to me. I'm reading into this a little too much, but I wonder if this means he's not making the All-Star team just because you got to play on Friday. I know guys do play on Friday and then Sunday as well at times. There have been guys who played in this before. I think Zion is one of them. Anyways, there have been. So it doesn't necessarily mean he's not making it, but they know. They know. Maybe Reggie knows. Let's ask Reggie Miller.
Good point.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quirks from them announcing this yesterday is the NBA All-Star Twitter account was like releasing them one by one. Like, okay, Wemby making his first Rising Stars appearance and Chet Holmgren making his first Rising Stars appearance. And then it said, Scoot Henderson making his third Rising Stars appearance. And you saw the comments. Everyone's like, that's got to be a typo. Who screwed that up? What? Well, no, it's true. Scoot Henderson, as a member of those G League teams for 2 years prior. This is his 3rd year in this thing. He's going to set the record next year, in theory, when he makes his 4th Rising Stars game as a sophomore. This guy is a vet when it comes to this. So
They got to retire his jersey like Nate Robinson at Summer League.
please do.
I'm sure they're all completely different jerseys, though. They've got
they
some
are.
crazy Rising Stars jerseys.
They are indeed. Oh, I mean, yeah, even like the sponsor every year is different. Last year was Clorox. This year's Panini. 2 years ago, I got even no clue. I don't know.
Wow.
Taco Bell, maybe? No, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. Did I blow your mind
I didn't
with
know
that?
Panini. I didn't know Panini.
Yeah, Panini Rising Stars.
Tasty.
I purposely left it out, but no, not that Panini.
Oh.
Cards.
Oh, yeah.
Just the
Just
genre
a
of
food.
sandwiches. We just want to get it out there.
The All-Star Game, sponsored by Oranges. The Dunk Contest, sponsored by Lasagna. All right. Moving on, but sticking with All-Star Weekend, it's official. NBA all-time three-point leader Steph Curry and WNBA single-season three-point record Sabrina Ionescu will compete in a three-point contest at All-Star Weekend on February 17th. That's Saturday night. And I had forgotten that Saturday night, we're getting out of the Pacers arena and we're going in to the football stadium, the Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
I had totally forgotten about that. So Friday night, Gainbridge. Saturday, Lucas Oil for all this stuff, and then back on Sunday to the Pacers arena.
Oh, who'll be
Bouncing.
singing? There'll be somebody singing in that football stadium.
Isn't it like cut in half too? Remember the setup we saw? There was a photo going around a long
Yeah,
time.
you're probably right.
It was like a partition. It was like a concert on one side. I don't know. It was
Yeah, I
something
think
weird.
you might be right.
Oh, okay, for a Saturday, right.
Yeah.
When did we see Alicia Keys playing in Dallas, JD?
That was All-Star
That was-
game, wasn't it?
That was the game, I think.
it was the
Yeah,
game.
I think
yeah,
so.
so there'll probably be more people there. Yeah, 'cause
She's played twice. I saw her in Dallas. I can't remember where I didn't see her. Matt had me in the bowels looking for something or somebody to shoot. That was the only thing I wanted to see. I was like, Matt, whatever happens, I just want to see Alicia play. He was like, he felt really bad. He was like,
Oh, really?
I am so sorry.
Oh,
yeah, that won't happen this year, JD.
yeah, we don't know. I forget. Wait, do we
No,
even know who
you
you're
won't
going to
be
see or
asked to
hear? I
go
don't know.
into the doldrums of the stadium, but I'm sure somebody will get them.
Oh, I'll be at Jerome. Will have me down there, 100%.
Oh,
He's
come on.
shooting something.
Okay, back to this news here. So Curry, we did learn Curry's going to shoot from the NBA three-point line with NBA basketballs, and Ionescu is going to shoot from the WNBA three-point line with WNBA balls. Just for those that maybe don't know, NBA line at the top, 23 feet, 9 inches, and sort of tapers to, 22 feet in the corners. WNBA's arc, slightly shorter, 22 feet, 1.75 inches at the top, and then, basically it's more uniform. It's 22 feet, sort of in the corners. But after all the rules were announced, Sabrina jumps on X and says, I'll shoot from the NBA line, let's get it. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to stick to the rules and she'll do the WNBA line or not, but this is cool. I mean, we already talked about it, so we don't need to go in detail, but a cool addition here to Saturday night. I'm fascinated to see where they put it in the lineup of things? Like, before this actual three-point contest?
It's on the graphic, I think.
Oh, where? So they're putting it before or after?
It's after the 3-point, before the dunk contest.
Oh, interesting.
I believe.
Interesting.
Let me double check that.
All right. So here we go. Steph versus Sabrina.
Cool.
Who you got taking it?
I don't know. I mean, I had forgotten about the Lucas Oil factor as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to shoot in a big old arena like that. I'll take Sabrina.
Okay.
Why not?
That's a good move. I do think they'll be shooting at the same time, I imagine. They'll put Sabrina on one side of the floor and
You
Steph
think
at the
so?
best
No.
side. Yeah, why not?
No.
Because then they're just shooting one time. Anyways,
Yeah.
I guess they will be set up on either side of the court because Sabrina will be shooting with WNBA balls and be shooting at a slightly longer shot. It's not really all that much longer.
No.
The corners are exactly the same
Yeah.
as NBA quarters, and then it slopes slightly towards the half where it's about 1.5 feet longer as you get right to the top. So Sabrina's going to kill it. She's going to kill it, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know if the NBA just says, okay, come shoot the NBA side because you want to. But she'll be great.
She obviously has the record in either of the contests, going 25 of 27, which is incredible in the 2023 All-Star three-point shootout. 37 points. I guess Curry's tied for the record, right? Didn't Halliburton tie him with 31 points in the contest? But he's won it twice, and here we go.
How many times has he participated? A ton.
He's been in it like 6 or 7 times, I want to say, Steph Curry. Like, he hasn't, won it every time he's been in it, for sure.
Yeah, so he gets there on Saturday, and he's warmed up. He knows how to do this. Like, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't in this thing. So I don't know if he's going to be in the NBA three-point contest, but this is just Sabrina's second, being a second-year player. So she doesn't have that experience, I guess, but I don't know if that really matters.
Well, that's funny you say that. I saw Sabrina Merchant, the WNBA staff writer at The Athletic. She's like, she's pumped about it, like this whole thing. But she said, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see Curry go up against the real WNBA three-point shootout GOAT, Allie Quigley, while she was still playing, because she was winning this time after time after time. That's a fair point. But anyway, we'll see how the other Sabrina does versus Steph, and what type of Well, I mean, my only concern is, like, it's a three-point shooting contest, right? Like, we see it in the real thing, men or women's. Great shooters just have like rough nights. They just can't find the bottom of the net, and you wonder how they'll set this up. Is it literally just like, all right, Steph, one go for you. All right, Sabrina, one go for you. And if it's like one of them knocks it out of the park and scores 30 plus points, and the other just for whatever reason can't get into the rhythm.
Yeah, it's got to
be disappointing, I guess.
It's got to be more than one round.
I would think so.
But are they just going to add them up?
I don't know. We'll see.
Confirmed, by the way. It's happening immediately following the Starry three-point contest.
Immediately.
I mean, I added immediately.
Okay.
It will follow the standard Starry.
Do you like
contest.
the placement of it?
Yeah, I do. I think this is it's going to be a showstopper because we don't know. This could be the highlight of the night.
Absolutely.
Because the dunk contest was garbage last year.
And it's
No offense.
Well, last year's was actually, dare I say, good compared to some of the previous ones.
True. Yeah. That's true. But yeah, this is going to be the event that people are the most curious about.
Yeah.
It's good they didn't do it before the three-point contest or around the skills challenge, because that's when no one's really paying attention.
Yeah.
During the skills challenge, there's more eyeballs happening.
And now knowing that it's coming after the three-point contest, I would assume Steph Curry is not in the actual men's three-point contest, because that'd be like a disadvantage for Sabrina, would it not?
Yeah,
this guy's like would have done multiple times on the court here already.
Probably not.
That's not fair. So probably not.
I imagine. Starry, what type of food is that? A dessert?
No.
I've seen it as a cookie. Lots of cookies at Trader Joe's that are stars.
It's a drink.
I know.
The biggest drink in All-Star Weekend history.
Yeah, you probably took down I don't know, maybe a 12-pack.
I don't drink that.
I saw you in your hotel room.
I drink Spritey, bud. With my panini sandwich.
No, you're right. Wasn't Jerome going around collecting all the Starries?
Oh yeah,
He had a Starry tooth that weekend.
Well, he was sick. He was sick. To be fair,
He was sick. He
was
needed
sick.
that
He had
beverage.
the altitude sickness, so he needed the Starry. What?
Yeah.
They make a Starry Zero, though, I think.
Yeah, I got some in the fridge, Tass. You want one?
Yeah, I don't want the sugary ones.
Yeah.
Crack one.
Hit it
Crack
up.
one up.
Okay, next piece of news here. The NBA announced that the Warriors, Steph Curry, and the Lakers secured the top spots on the NBA's most popular jersey and team merchandise lists, respectively, based on NBAstore.com sales for the first half of the 23-24 regular season. Here you see the top-selling NBA jerseys. This, again, in America, or NBAstore.com. Steph, Jayson Tatum, that's the highest ranking he's ever had on the most popular jersey list. LeBron, still number 3, and Wembanyama, highest ranking on the most popular jersey list for a rookie since... This is tough. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never
big
guessed
city.
it.
It's a big city player. That sort of makes sense.
Big city
A
player.
big guy,
Lonzo,
too.
Oh, not Lonzo Ball.
No.
a little older. You probably. Well, he made the All-Star team with this team that he played on, but then he got hurt, so I don't think he played in the All-Star game.
I would have taken literally 50 guesses to get this, but it
was surprising.
It's Porzingis. That's a little surprising.
Okay,
yeah, as a rookie. So Wemby 4th, and then Giannis, Luka, Booker, KD, Maxey, Lillard, Ja Morant, Embiid, LaMelo Ball, Jokic, and Fox. Any takeaways or anything jump out to you?
Tatum at 2. Apparently, that's the highest he's ever been. Mm-hmm. That's great.
And the kids still love Steph.
Yep.
Trey, what do you think?
Kids still love Steph. Kids still love Ja. Kids still love LaMelo Ball. The guy's barely been on the court the past 2 seasons, but nice looking jersey. And he did switch numbers not too long ago. But man, the big takeaway is obviously Wembanyama is already a face of the league.
Yeah.
The guy's played half a season already, and it seems like he gets better every minute he's on the floor. It's just a matter of time before he is number 1 on this list, because the rest of the top 5 is guys who have been established and have been wearing the same jersey for quite some time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
LeBron gets slick with it.
Thing
But,
to me. I'm like, Steph Curry's been wearing that exact same jersey, same number, same style for a decade now, but people are still coming out and buying them. Also, I thought it was interesting that Maxey has sold more jerseys than Embiid.
Yep.
Embiid's obviously the star, but Maxey, a telegenic guy.
Top 10 for Maxey is really impressive. I like to see even Fox cracking the top 15, like those guys getting in there. But yeah, that's a great point on Curry having basically the same jersey. Yeah. I know maybe that's a part of Nike and the NBA releasing a million different jerseys every year.
That's a good point.
It's not necessarily just that blue number 30, but yeah. And because we are pro Poutine here on No Dunks, let's take a quick look at the top selling jerseys according to NBAstore.ca. Because Scottie Barnes comes in at number 1, LeBron 2, Steph 3, Pascal Siakam.
Hey.
I don't think that's for Pacers jerseys. Something tells me those are the Raptors jerseys, but highest Canadian on the list is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at number 11. Would you like to see higher? You think would be higher? I wonder if a part of that's maybe the Thunder jersey doesn't, it's not the sexiest jersey in the world, but maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself, but we'll see. Any thoughts, Tass, on the Canadian top-selling jerseys?
NBAstore.ca. If you want to head on over there, this is where you buy your jerseys. Number 15, Grady Dick, doing his thing as a rap. He's barely played with the Raps. He's starting to get his into the rotation now, though. That's why the second half, I think that Dick jersey will increase. But all these guys.
Wow. In the morning?
All these.
Are you going to take some pills? Maybe that's a little personal, but...
The pills part?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, Victor Wembanyama also doing well right there. Just shows how good Victor Wembanyama is.
Did you see Wemby on the interview last night with TNT?
Yeah.
With Lefko and Crawford and Vince and Candace Parker? I mean, like, it speaks to what you're saying, like, face of the league, and it won't be long.
He's got personality already, man.
God.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That was a great interview. Like, so much fun stuff, like talking about the dribble moves with Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford named his own move the Crawford.
Yeah.
Respect. Hey, Jamal Crawford here. Can you do the Jamal Crawford? Oh, yeah, I can do it. Hopefully he does. That'd be awesome. My only other prediction about the Canadian thing is that we'll see RJ Barrett on that list next year.
Yeah. And maybe,
Yeah, right.
Yep.
in a Raptors jersey,
That's right.
for sure.
NBAstore.ca if you're looking for jerseys. I do like
ads in this show.
I do like.
I know.
What else do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Orange juice.
Starry.
If Wembanyama becomes a Hall of Famer, it will be fitting that he's right beside LeBron James in that U.S. ranking there, because he could be the best rookie since LeBron James, and that's why he's up there. There is all that talk when he was drafted. Oh, this guy is the most anticipated rookie since LeBron 20 freaking years ago, and so he's awesome. He is fun. He doesn't never gets hyper. He doesn't play video games, apparently. He just reads books. He's a bright kid. Even when we watched him talk or point at the bat, like he wasn't panicked when there was a bat flying around in the arena.
He's like, I've read about this.
I know the local bat spot, whatever that's called.
What was the cave called?
Bracken Cave?
Yeah, that's it.
Local bat spot, local bat hot
He's like,
spot.
hold on, that looks like a bat from Bracken Cave.
Read about that one. Yeah, it's in the encyclopedia, which I read every night.
No, he is great.
Cave.
And, just to tie this all together, Wembanyama in the Rising Stars game, he's probably going to try and do the Jamal Crawford in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would be the perfect time to bust it out.
Yeah, let's see some weird dribble moves.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there we go. We'll take a break here. When we come back, TK's got Tweet of the Night. So I've been in my house for a few years now. Naturally, Nora and I are starting to look around and think about things we'd like to change or maybe add. There's always a lot of talk about adding a fireplace to the front room. There's always a lot of talk about maybe a detached garage. There's always a lot of talk about an outdoor kitchen in the covered back porch. These are projects that we are talking about a lot, but hopefully going to achieve. And the things we build our future around are honestly things worth protecting. So making an estate plan now means gaining security of your assets and peace of mind for you and your loved ones. With Trust and Will, you can create and manage a custom estate plan starting at just $159. Go to trustandwill.com/nodunks for 10% off, plus free document shipping. I like the idea, the peace of mind of knowing that my assets and wishes are secure when I'm long and gone. So keep your family prepared and protected by managing your will or trust online. Each will or trust is state-specific, customized to your needs. We're talking care wishes, nomination, guardians, final arrangements, power of attorney, all that stuff. So ensure your family and loved ones avoid lengthy, expensive legal proceedings or the state deciding what happens to your assets. That state's not going to touch my hypothetical fireplace. Trust and Will has made estate planning accessible and affordable. Secure your assets and protect your loved ones with Trust and Will. Get 10% off plus free shipping of your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/nodunks. That's 10% off and free shipping at trustandwill.com/nodunks. Okay, before we wrap up today's podcast, Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
TK, you're taking us back to the Lakers here.
Yeah, buddy. Love to give an NBA player Tweet of the Night. Christian Wood coming through with us. Just 3 letters, Skates. LOL. This was 10 minutes before tip-off.
Right. And no Anthony Davis playing. Jackson Hayes getting the start. Yep.
Starters were announced, and Christian Wood hit us with an LOL. Tossed off pretty quickly because it's a capital L and then a lowercase OL. Followed up later on by Jovan Buha here of The Athletic, who asked Christian Wood about this after the game. Jovan tweeted, Christian Wood said he meant to quote tweet a tweet, but accidentally didn't and just tweeted LOL. He said the tweet wasn't meant to come off as it did.
Okay, follow-up question. What was the tweet?
What was the tweet?
What was the funny tweet?
What was that funny tweet you wanted to LOL? I think it was Silver Screen and Roll, did an investigation. Christian Wood has not quote tweeted since 2022.
Yeah, okay.
So he's rusty. He's rusty. He doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I also love that this is the explanation. No. I wasn't laughing about our coach not starting me. I was just checking my phone on Twitter right before the game started. That one's totally cool. That's totally fine to be doing. But this was maybe not even the worst tweets that happened for the Lakers, because later on, like you're saying, Skeets, LeBron just tweeted an hourglass with the sand trickling down.
Yeah.
And I would say it looked a little bit more full on the low side. Time's running out.
Yeah, it's not good there in Lakerland after those back-to-back losses and just getting blown out and giving up a ton of points. And I mean, you saw them without Anthony Davis and how important he is to their defense. But I look, the only thing I'll say about this LOL, I don't buy it. I believe he was commenting on the fact that he wasn't starting with no AD. But these players do, they share a lot of their social media accounts with their team, right? You know, either family members or just people in their crew. And so I always I want to go crazy, but I'm like, maybe that's a buddy, tweeting, again from Christian Wood's account, but he's laughing at it. There's always that possibility.
I think Jovan did ask him, do you usually tweet right before the game to get under his skin as well? Like, to find out.
Yeah.
Because, I think it is literally looking at it. I think it's 20 minutes before the game, but he didn't actually try and repost anything. Let's be honest here. You don't screw up either reposting or retweeting or recommenting anything with just an LOL. There is no existence of another post. You would have to kick or press repost.
Yeah.
So it's very unlikely reading into it.
Quite unlikely.
Usually these passive aggressive, social media comments, I guess to call them, I find that they generally come in Instagram stories and then people screen grab them.
Yeah.
So for him just to go straight to the to the X, like we're still living in the Twitter glory days, just LOL. I gotta almost respect that.
Simple LOL.
Yeah. Because usually it's like someone, look at that, oh, I screen grabbed that, now it's gone. But no, he's pissed. Did he have a right to be? Jackson Hayes starting over him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackson Hayes has
too.
basically been out of the rotation for the Lakers, and Ham's theory, I suppose, is we want to keep our bench the same. But the problem with the Lakers is that they've kept their bench the same for such a long time. So I don't know. It seemed like the Lakers were out of it before the game even started. And maybe it starts with the LOL tweet. Maybe it starts with Darvin Ham coming in, writing the starters on the board, and everybody seeing us like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
They don't seem like a happy team right now. That's for sure.
No. So we'll wait around here today, find out about the results to Embiid's knee injury, and hopefully that's nothing severe, and whether or not anything happens here with the Lakers. Be it Coach Ham, be it a trade. Like, the slop's been pretty quiet when you think about it. Like, the trade rumors. Like, obviously they kicked up there for a while, but over the last couple days, it's like there's not a whole lot. And is that the quiet before the storm here with the deadline? What'd you say, Tass? It's like a week
from tomorrow.
Yeah.
A week from tomorrow, and LeBron does have a player option next season.
Oh boy.
If Bronny.
Easy KOC.
Well, no, I don't think they're not gonna trade LeBron. I think that was KOC's what you were talking about there. But he has a player option. If his son gets drafted by somebody else, he can walk away from this contract to go play with Bronny. That could be his last year. I don't see why it wouldn't be his last year. I know he's absolutely incredible, but this is freaking 21 years of basketball. 22 is probably his last one. So why not? Why not opt out? I know he's can opt into $51 million. $51 million, she's got to take it. The dude's a billionaire. He doesn't need $51 million. That doesn't mean anything to him.
Every penny counts if you're trying to buy an NBA team down the line.
Yeah, that's true. But the other team will sign him to something.
No, I know. That's fair. All right, well, let's call it there. Lots of good games on tonight. Some weird ones, if I'm being honest, on the national TV schedule. It's all these, guy returning home games on ABC and ESPN. Suns Nets. KD. Did you hear him saying, "You better not give me a tribute
Do not
video"?
give me one.
Oh God, I hope they give him one.
I agree
so
with Nets
bad.
frequent. That's what he said. We're on the same page.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to see that. We'll find out. That's on ABC. So you got that storyline, and then Bucks Blazers. That's Damian Lillard going home to play in front of Portland on ESPN.
I saw Blazers reporters were speculating that Damian Lillard is soft launching a return to the Blazers later in his career when things are over. And similar to what Kyle Lowry has talked about, he wants to do come back at some point. But I guess game 2 for Doc Rivers. One of the funniest things I saw this week, I read the AP report about the Bucks game after they played Bucks Nuggets, and this is obviously Doc coaching his first game, returning. So much like a player, they kind of are describing what Doc Rivers is doing out there, but they're like, he alternated between squatting and standing. He clapped his hands and at one point talked to assistant coach Dave Yeager. It's like, yeah, man, sounds like he's coaching. Hard to make that sound super exciting. I was rolling.
Imagine it was like, at one point he just lied down and took off his shoes, and it's like all these weird things, like
action calls for Doc Rivers. He called a timeout.
Yeah, Yeager sits beside beside him on the bench. They're close. Prunty, 2 seats down.
Oh.
You'd rather have a Yeager.
But those are the games, again, like I said, that are on national television. But we've got Mavs Wolves, Nuggets Thunder, Pelicans Rockets even is intriguing. Kings Heat with the Heat, the way they're playing in the slide. So what I'm saying is here, I'm might be some playback in store tonight. So join our playback room, and you'll know then if we're going live, and maybe it'd be fun to catch some of the second half action, especially for like Nuggets, Thunder, Mavs, Timberwolves, and bounce around a little bit. So keep an eye on that. But until either playback or tomorrow here from the Classic Factory, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, legends like to play with their old team, as we just went through. Kyle Lowry's got to play with Toronto. Joey Votto has got to go to the Blue Jays. He didn't play there, but he's Canadian. Sign there. It's like Steve Nash. Get there. Get there, Joey. Sign him.
Brace the day, people.